This is the Nissan GTR professional dash cam installation video. We're going to show you how we run the wiring from the front to the back, how we mount the front dash camera, how we run the wiring safely by the airbags, and where we go for power for the dash camera. Let's go. So the first thing we're going to do is bend the rear view mirror down and take the little small stem off so we can run our wires behind the rear view mirror easily. As you can see, just clips in, very easy to take off. And we're going to start taking all of our wiring and running it behind the rearview mirror and tucking it up into the headliner. And this headliner is actually pretty easy to do. So all you have to do is just put your fingers up there, pull down nicely, and you should be able to tuck the wiring up. Now, as we move over to the A-pillar, we're going to use our 4140, or you can use the panel popper tool of your choice, and it will pop out nicely. Now, there is a little trick on the A-pillar here. There is a clip where you need to actually take some pliers, and like I use my needle nose pliers, and you need to turn that little blue thing sideways. And you have to do this in order to release the panel. Please do not cut this. This is an airbag retainer clip. The last thing you want to do is cut it off or break it. So you can see I'm going to take my needle nose pliers and I'm going to put it in there. And we're just going to turn it sideways. And once we turn it sideways, you're going to see the panel will release and come out quite easily. So it's not too hard, and some simple needle nose pliers will do it. Just be careful around the airbag. You don't want to be too aggressive with it. So now we can completely remove the A-pillar out and continue tucking the rest of our wires into the headliner. So as you can see, there's one clip at the top, and the middle there where you see the hole is exactly where the blue retainer clip goes into. So let's continue running the rest of our wires in. Okay, so we're going to take the rear camera cable and run it behind the airbag here and pull it through. And then after we're done running that cable through, we're going to put a tie strap onto the factory wiring harness. And the reason why I want to do this is just because we want to kind of set like a baseline of where we want, and that way there's some leverage so we don't pull it too far. So now, as you can see, we're going to remove the weather stripping that goes from the front of the vehicle to the back by the driver's door. And I just want to show you the airbag is up here. So as you can see, that is the white airbag going all the way from the front of the vehicle to the back. And we can tuck it up nicely and safely right next to the airbag. And when the airbag deploys, there is quite a bit of a space between the weather stripping and the airbag. So now we ran our wire all the way to the back, but now I'm going to tuck it in to all the paneling. So I'm going to use my 4140, pull it out, and I can tuck the wire in nicely. So I'm just going to continue moving further down with the 4140. You might be able to use your hands depending, but as you can see here, I'm just using my 4140 and slowly moving all the way from the back to the front of the vehicle, right? We want to make sure to get this all in here because the airbag is up in the headliner and the airbag will come out in front of this panel. So if we tuck the wiring in behind this panel, it's not going to interfere with any of the airbags if they were to deploy at all. So as you can see here, we're now going to continue tucking it up right next to the airbag. Like I said, we're doing this so that we're not interfering with any of these safety restraints. So we're going to continue running the wiring all the way to the front and pull the excess wire in behind the airbag and tuck it up high in the headliner. And then we're going to take the weather stripping and put it right back in place and make sure that the headliner lines up. So now that we have all of our extra wiring here by the A-pillar, we can continue adding tie straps and running it all the way down towards the dash. And next, we're going to remove the side panel. Quite easy. Just stick your 4140 or panel popper tool in, and it's just a couple clips, and it'll pop right off. Nice and simple. And as you can see there, and I later found out that basically taking this panel off really didn't add any extra value other than I'm a little bit more light under the dash. So we're going to cut the tie straps on the A-pillar. And we're going to continue going to drop the dash. So as you can see, there's two 10 mil bolts directly underneath there, right by the hood release. So we need to use our 10 mil, or you can use a Phillips to remove these two bolts. And if you don't remove these bolts, then the dash will not be able to open up. That way you can grab the wiring that you need to install the dash camera. So you can see I'm taking my 10 mil, removing them, and we can remove the hood release right out of the way. I'm now going to use my 4140 to pry on the dash, and we can pull it out slowly. Now there is a couple different plugs up top here on the dash. There's 3 wires that we need to remove. So we can see there's 2 plugs there and a plug and a hose on the other side of the dash panel. So now we've unplugged the plug and the hose, and you can see they just plug in right here below on the dash. So just keep that in mind when you're reassembling. We already unplugged one plug and we have one more plug to plug. And I can use my 4140, you can use a small flathead, something along those lines in order to release the last plug on the dash. So as we release it, the next step we want to do is remove the OBD2 plug. And you need to put your panel popper tool in there and push on it from one side in order for it to come out. So now we can take the whole dash, completely remove it out, and which frees us up all the under dash. So now I'm using my wire tool, my wire fish tool, and I'm going all the way up high by the A-pillar. And the reason why I'm running it up there is so that I can fish the rest of the wires that we had up top by the A-pillar all the way down underneath the dash. See, if we go on the side of the dash, it's way too tight, which is why I said earlier that side panel didn't really do much. So you can see it comes out top right by the windshield, and I can hook up my wires that are right up here, and we can pull them down. Now you do need to have a little bit of patience to do this, but what's nice is once you get it down, we can hook up the extra rear camera cabling to it and pull that down with it as well. And we can tie up all the extra wiring directly underneath the dash because there's lots of room right there. So as we tie that up, tape it up, and then we can tie strap it in place, all the extra additional rear camera cable. We can now work on where are we going to get the power from. So on a lot of Nissans and Infinitis that are available on the market, even Subarus as well, a lot of times you can just hook up to the back side of the OBD2 cable. Now keep in mind you always need to test and verify your wires. So we're going to use our test light. And our test light, we know pin 16 is always constant power and pin 4 is always ground. That is one consistent thing on all OBD2 cables. But we need to verify that pin 8 is ignition. Which pin 8 on this vehicle is ignition. We verified with our test light, and we were able to strip back all the wiring, and now we're going to hook up directly the wiring from the dash camera to these 3 wires. And once we hook them up, we can then solder them, tape them, and we'll have a solid connection for power, ground, and ignition for this dash camera. Keep in mind, you always want to double check, verify your wiring, and test them. We have heard of people thinking what is pin 16 ends up actually being like pin 1, right? So you need to make sure on knowing on testing and verifying your wires. And we've listed the color codes here as well for you to know. Now we have all the extra wiring tied up nicely underneath the dash, and we test taped it as well. And now all we got to do is reassemble it. So now we're going to take the OBD2 cable, plug it back into the dash, clip everything back in, put the hood release back in place, put the 210 mils back in there. That way it's nice and solid. We'll take the A-pillar, make sure the little blue tab is lined up for the airbag retainer clip, and clip it all back in place. And now we can take that little piece that we had behind the rear view mirror and we can clip it back in nicely. After that's done, we can take it, we can plug in our dash camera, verify it turns on, and then we're going to clean off the windshield, take some paper towel and clean off the area we just cleaned. That way it's nice and dry. Take off the 3M tape and stick it on. Now, if this is the first time ever doing it, I would recommend, before peeling off the tape, I would verify that it is mounted correctly and has great viewing angle. And there's the rear camera mounted in the back of the vehicle. Unfortunately, it was so hard to get the camera in there while doing the installation. And there it is, the Nissan GTR, done for front and rear dash camera. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you are looking to support us, check us out, safedrivesolutions.com, where we offer professional dash camera installation in Greater Vancouver or Greater Toronto, Canada. We also offer many dash cameras that you can actually buy, and we ship them all across Canada, direct to your door. Check us out, safedrivesolutions.com.